I want to tell you a story about how I got rid of my ADHD, and a lot of people are not going to resonate with this. So if you think that you don't have an open mind, I think you should just get out of this video as soon as possible, because whatever I'm going to tell you is not going to reach your mind. You're not going to be able to accept it as a truth. So if you have an open mind and if you want to get rid of your ADHD, just sit back and listen to my story. I'm going to try to keep it short because, you know. So yeah, this is how you can remove ADHD, ADD with meditation. How you can create a new life with meditation. So my story started when I was in school. I had really big troubles, but the short version is it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And my concentration was shit. I couldn't read a book. I couldn't even read a single page because I couldn't focus. I couldn't comprehend what was on the page. And I got the medication, which was absolutely amazing. It was like a gift from heaven. I could start studying. But you know, as you know, you're on speed all the time. It's horrible. It's side effects. It's these waves of happiness and anxiety all the time. I was just in my bubble, constantly 24/7, just feeling absolute bullshit. And I didn't like it at all. And I was taking these 8 hour, I think it was 8 hour halftime or something like that, Medikinet. Didn't like it at all. And I don't think my body liked it either, because after some time, after like 2 years of using this, my body created an allergy towards it, so I couldn't even take it anymore. And this was the time I went off cold turkey. Was also same thing, really hard to get off it because I was addicted to that kind of stuff because it's speed. So this story goes further along the line that I just told myself all the time that I had ADHD and that's why I'm the way I am, and I was always using it as an excuse to who I was as a person. I was jumping from project to project, from idea to idea, trying new things, trying new sports, trying everything, not being able to focus, not being able to be serious whatsoever. So that was my excuse for life. And if you feel like that, I mean, it's completely normal, and it's also much easier once you get the label that, yeah, you are you are less than others. It's like, that's label. It's crazy. So anyways, I was tired of my life, you know. I was doing car sales. I was really tired of it. I was tired of selling stuff that I didn't really care about. I wanted purpose. I wanted meaning. So I felt like I'm going to Thailand because that's where I'm going to find myself. And it was such a cliche. People were joking about it. It's like, are you going to go find your... And yeah, my first 2 weeks in Thailand started up just partying, just having fun, going to full moon party. But then one day, I think I just questioned myself, is what am I doing here? I'm just continuing my shitty life from home here. And in some weird way, I just ended up at a yoga retreat. No, not yoga retreat, but healing center called Wonderland. And this was a fucking amazing place, completely outside of who I was. I was the guy, you know, with nice cars, with money, with partying. That was me. And I went to a healing center. I got these, you know, the baggy pants, the baggy thin pants, looking like some guy from the mountains. But when I was there was nothing else to do. There was we weren't using any phones. It was just us, nature, and people. So first of all, you were forced to be present. And when we were present, people started asking me and questioning me. Specifically, the guy I interviewed on my channel, Tony, who's been a very big teacher for my life, he started questioning me and started asking me, like, is that true, what you're saying? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's true? Of course it's true. I'm saying it. And he was just questioning. It's like, yeah, but is it really true? Is that your truth, or is that someone else's truth? And I started questioning myself. And in this retreat, they were doing meditation. And obviously, since I had ADHD, it would be so hard for me. So I couldn't do it. But I tried because there was nothing else to do. And I realized after some time that, yeah, it was getting easier and easier, even though I fell asleep every time in the beginning. I was like, what if, here's the big question, here's the big thing, is what if? I was asking myself, what if I can actually learn how to meditate? What if? And there was a meditation which was just absolutely amazing, because an old friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, he had been sleeping with my ex, and I was so mad. I was so angry at him because I told him that, like, please don't sleep with my ex, and he did it anyways. But in this, we did a love and compassion meditation. So it wasn't for any relaxation. It wasn't just to, try to focus your mind. It was just for love and compassion. And she said, now send love to someone that you absolutely hate. And I was visualizing one of my closest friends, and I was sending him love, even though I hated him. And I could feel the anger, the hate, everything just leaving my body. And it was the craziest experience of my life. And I tried drugs, I tried everything, but that was the coolest experience, because I let go of the anger, and I didn't know I could do that. I thought I was just reacting to everything. I thought, I was who I was. So I called him up and I said, you know what, I don't trust you, but I forgive you. There's no problem. We're And this continued, and I started meditating more and more, because I felt like this was really cool. I'm starting to get a hang of it, and I started making it a competition. The ego, it came in, and I said, I'm going to become the best meditator, which is a very cliche thing to say. But I became, I was able to meditate. But the cool thing about ADHD and how I actually removed it was when I got home. I continued meditation, but I realized sometimes when I was throwing shit on the floor, that like I used to do, I realized that I had like a second to think before I threw it on the ground. It's like, do I really need to do this? No. And I put it out. I got an extra second. And it was weird, because even my mom at that time, she said I was acting in a different way, almost like I was a completely different person. And I didn't understand that you could shift who you were. And I continued meditation, and then one day I was like, I'm just gonna see if I can read a page of a book. And I could. I could read a page. I could read 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages. And I started questioning that, well, what if I can read this and I can actually not make my room dirty all the time, and I can sort my thoughts? Does that mean I don't have ADHD anymore? I'm not a guy with ADHD anymore? That's part of my identity. Like, how can that disappear? And I realized that maybe I have been choosing this all the time. And meditation has just been a way of practicing my attention. Maybe I have been bad at having attention, but the meditation has actually taught me how to. But I think the biggest takeaway for me personally has been this thing that, oh my God, I can change myself. If I don't like something about myself, or some label that people put on me, then I can change it. And I think that's the biggest importance. So I just shifted. I just said, I don't have ADHD. I'm just a normal guy who can focus, who can concentrate. And that's the guy who I became. And I stopped jumping from project to project. I'm working on the same thing now. You can look at my YouTube channel. It's the same stuff, because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the mind, which probably came from this ADHD thing. But what you can do for yourself, if you feel open after this story, is to simply just set a timer for 5 minutes. Just sit in silence. Don't do anything. Just 5 minutes, sit in silence. No phone, nothing. Just your thoughts. Sit. That's it. Not in a weird way, not in a specific meditation way. Just sit. And after you've done that, you got tired of that, do 10 minutes. And then you do 15 minutes. And let's say this is 1 week or 2 weeks. And after that, you can start focusing on breathing. And the way I like to do is, I was just thinking about a tube. So filling up a tube. So in, out, in, out, like that. I was just visualizing that as much as I could. And then every time I dropped off, because you will, because your concentration is not practiced. You haven't trained it, because you've been saying you have ADHD all the time. And you had. Relax. But you actively practice your concentration. That's literally what you do. And then after some times, you're going to realize that you actually practice it a lot now, and now your attention, you can decide it. You can decide where to put your attention. You can decide if you want to put attention on 10 different projects or if you want to put it on one. You can see the thoughts come up which says, you should go and paint that other room now. And you can say, yes, I could, but I don't want to. Because you get that extra second between your thoughts and your actions. That's what meditation gives you. So after you've done that, just continue doing that. And then when you feel like a shift has happened, just come back to this video and just tell all the other people so they can also start believing that it's actually changed your life. This is the very short version, so I hope that was helpful to you, and